mshikamano hatima yetu, tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika, chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafarakano. Enyi bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima.
Hello and welcome to Humanist TV Africa. Humanist TV Africa is an online TV which comes to you, and this is The Gang Show. The Gang Show is a program which is part of Humanist TV Africa, and we bring you issues, we discuss issues, and we educate and also try to inform our audience. But I will encourage you to subscribe to Humanist TV Africa, and don't forget to share our videos, or you share our link so that others will also benefit out of Humanist TV Africa. And today on the Gang Show, the title is The Effects of Drug on Behavior, and we are talking about drug and the behavior as well. And you can follow us on our YouTube and Facebook, and also our website. We have a website which is www.humanisttvafrica.com, and then you can also write us on our email, which is info@humanisttvafrica.com. You can follow us on our YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe. You also like and also share. Humanist TV Africa has studios in so many countries in Africa and out of Africa. We have studios in Sierra Leone, we have studios in Ghana, we have studios in Nigeria, we have studios in Kenya, Uganda, the UK, Zimbabwe, and we are also trying to extend our studios in other parts of the world. And like I said, the Gang Show today is the effect of drug on behavior, and my name is Emmanuel Mambu. Now, talking about the effect of drug on behavior. So we are looking at, first of all, the drug itself, and also we also have to look at the behavior in the other hand. But before I talk about drug and the behavior itself, I would like my producer, Bayer, to play a video, to show us a video of the effect of drug on behavior. Then we'll talk about it. But I want Bayer, please, you play a video of the effect of someone who's taken drug and how that person is behaving, and so our audience will see it. You can see a police officer, Sierra Leone police Before he paused for good, the Sierra Leone police officer has taken drug, and look at how he is behaving in spite of the uniform that he is putting on. You can see the effects of drug on him. And also you can see this young man, how he is behaving because of drug.
One sergeant would open any abuse. I say, one sergeant any abuse. Don't push, don't push. Let's take an off.
A military officer, a military that is there to protect lives and property. Now look at what drug is doing to him. And his uniform. This is also someone who works at the electricity company. In Sierra Leone, we call it EDSA. They work on the electricity. And he has taken drug, specifically kush. And look at how he's behaving on the streets of Freetown.
Oh, I'm ready. No be the motor. Hey, you don't be the motor. Okay. You don't.
Now, and this other person, they just that one that we just look at how he's behaving on the street, and you can see that one. He's a conductor, and he has taken kush, in the bus, and he's sleeping while the bus is on the move. And look at this one on the street of Freetown, sleeping because of drug. This is how drug are, how the youth, which we call future leaders of tomorrow. This is what they are going through. The youth who are supposed to hold accountable, their leaders, they are being shifted away from, from what they should think. This is also a military officer on the street of Freetown, suffering from drug. Thank you very much, my able producer, Baya. So that was just a short video of the effect of drug on behavior of some of our youth. You can see how a military officer, was disgraced on the street, and also a police officer. So these are our security forces, and these are people we are highly depending on, to protect our lives and property. And now they are not protecting our lives and property, but they are rather protecting drug. And how can you and I prevent even the import of drugs into these countries, when the military and the police are part of, the people who are actually taking the drug. You can actually see the way our countries, are suffering from this um, drug. And talking about drug, let me just tell you something about drug. Drug typically refers to any substance, that is taken for psychoactive effect, and this is what you can see on the street. A lady, disgracing herself on the street, you know, because she has taken drug. And like I said, it is a substance, that is, and believe you me, there is, and I want you to also know that there's a difference between the drug and the medicine. You know, medicine, on the other hand, is a substance used to treat or prevent disease and can be prescribed. But drug cannot be prescribed. That is the difference. Medicine can be prescribed, but drug cannot be prescribed. And common drugs, being taken on the street in these countries are like the alcohol is one, cannabis sativa, which is the marijuana, is another. You have Kush for Sierra Leone. We have Kush, which is like actually destroying the life of the youth. And also we have the central nervous system depressant, which is the benzo, and also the cocaine. So these are the drugs that actually our youth uh, killing themselves with. So if we are talking about the effect of these drugs on our behavior, you can clearly see in the video how the young man is behaving because of drug. And if you look at this, the four type of behavior, we are looking at the physical action, which is what I do, and also the non-verbal action, which is how I do it, and also the language, what you say. You will see that people who take drug, they have no control over their language, and also the vocal delivery. The vocal delivery is how I say it. So these are things we look at in behavior, and behavior is something that is, if when you I mean, when you take drug, you don't have control over yourself. There is no more control over your actions. You don't have control over your actions. The drug itself is gonna be the one that is controlling you. Maybe the drug will tell you to do whatever, and you will just do it with joy. And so, and talking about behavior, and so let me just say, behavior is the observable and measurable actions, responses and patterns of activities exhibited, by an individual or group. So if you look at the measurable, the observable, the response, the activity exhibited, and also the pattern. So, this, when you take drug, all these things you lost control over it, and your patterns will be different. Your actions will not be even measurable anymore, and even the pattern you use, in displaying, it will be so weird that is so much different, to your normal behavior. So I have my comrade from Ghana, comrade Nana. Will Well, I don't know what you have to say about the effect of drug on behavior. Nana, over to you.
Um, Thank you, Comrade Mambu. And I believe all our dear viewers are also doing fine. Humanist TV Africa. Africa is our motherland, and we have to, uh, in in any other means, we have to help assist Africa to be the giant Africa or Kemetic Egypt used to be. And this is a very good topic, the effects of drugs on behavior. You know, drugs alter the states of any living organism. And as human beings, and as living mammals, any drug that is taken inside the human body have effect on the body. So there are drugs which can alter your, as you mentioned, the names like um, cocaine. You have drugs like the pills. Right now there are a lot of pills in the systems. The tramol, we have codeine, we have a lot of them, and uh, it is good we have to address this issue because uh, there is not much research conducted as far as drugs on behavior in our African settings is concerned. Most of the research have been from the West, from the United States, from Europe. But you know, Africa, we have our peculiar problems, unique problems, and we should also find unique ways in solving these issues. So I won't say the human being or the human body is 100%. We all have one way or the other defects on our body. Some people have mental uh, what should I say, incapability, or some people have mental diseases. As I don't want to sound, but it is up to us to identify all these diseases and know the cure for all of them. So using drugs will also, I think, enhance or worsen these kind of diseases. And in Africa right now, people are not talking about stress and depression, but because of the poverty rate is so high, a lot of the youth also are, are suffering from uh, stress and depression. That is why most of the youth are into these drugs abuse, because that is what the Bible say. Let me quote from the Bible. They say the Bible gives jobs to the devil gives jobs to the idle hand, something like that. So because most of the youth graduates are unemployed, and because being fed under $1 a day here in Africa, bro, is not easy. So the stress and the depression that comes along with it makes people want to try these drugs and escape reality. But the fact is, the moment you try it, there are drugs like cocaine and other addictive drugs. The moment you try it, there is no turning back. And it's all up to us to educate the public, to educate the masses about the effects of these drugs, because it's as if most of the guys I know who are into drugs, especially cocaine, if you come to Kumasi, Ashanti region, Kumasi here, we have ghetto here at Alaba. We call that place Tinker, and you will see all people from different walks of life, coming there to take drugs. And most of the youth, when you talk to them, they tell you they don't know the effects, or their friends peer pressure, like they used to smoke marijuana, and later one of the friends added cocaine to it, and they got stuck or they got addicted into the cocaine use. So what I would say is it deems on us, all of us, the authority, the state, to educate the public that look, this is this is that, this is this is that. Me, I don't have any problem with people using drugs, but the fact is, you have to know what you are using. Portugal have legalized, Portugal, Spain, yeah, they've legalized cocaine, marijuana, most of the drugs. They've legalized it. Then there was this research conducted in Holland, but I might be fired. I don't have. And when the Netherlands decriminalized marijuana, the usage of marijuana fell for 15%, because this is a drug most people take it because they are curious about the effect of this marijuana. They want to know what happens. So because people, in music, in on TV, you hear people, talking about all these drugs, and people too feel like they want to try it. Yeah. So when the Netherlands, decriminalized the marijuana usage, it fell because this is a drug which is it is in the open. It's no more hiding. So it is most of the time it is curiosity. It is curiosity. But if the thing has been legalized and any person from 18 years can have access to it, well, I think it will be in the best interest of. I'm not saying taking drugs is good, but we've reached a point in mankind's epoch of life where I believe no matter what a person does, if it doesn't have any third party effect or second party effect on us or on the state or on the results of the state, I think we can allow the person to go. But the issue or the most important thing is the education. We need to educate. We need to educate the young one, especially the young ones. Like, no, do not try cigarette, because cigarette is the drug. We talk as if cigarette, but cigarette is sold in stores, but cigarette is more poisonous than marijuana. And quite a lot of them. They are, in hospitals, these nurses and these chemists and these doctors, some of them too are addicted to drugs because of they are in contact with these drugs they use in the hospital. Yeah, I know one lady who was having this menstrual cycle problem. Whenever the time is due, then she's a nurse, and they have this. I've forgotten the name. It's a peptidine or something like that. It's the hospital. Yeah, and she takes that when she ingests that when that pains come, and she has been addicted to it. So there are so many people sniff glue, super glue. Yeah, people sniff glue to make them feel high. But the fact of the matter still remains that we should educate the public that drug is not good for the human body. It's harmful for the human body. Drugs is harmful to the human body. And the funny thing is as if our brain is wired to accept these drugs, because if our brain weren't wired in that way, why should a drug have effects on me? Which means, like we talk about dopamines when you take in cocaine and marijuana and the rest, it releases these hormones they call dopamine, which means we already have these glands, or what I say, these cells in our body, which in one way or the other are ready to accept all these drugs. So we must be careful of whatever we ingest into our body, and the behavior afterwards too. We should handle them well. If you drink, don't drive. If you smoke weed, don't drive. So we have to be responsible in all our endeavors.
All right. Thank you very much, Comrade Nana from Ghana. Like I was saying, you said it, and I picked some points. If I could look at some of the points you raised, that there are some countries that legalize drug, but we are talking about, yes, drug might be good, but we are looking at the effect.
I'm not saying legalizing drug is good, but for the safety of individuals and for the law enforcement to concentrate on the most needful aspect of the state, legalizing these petty drugs is cool, because if you don't legalize, or if people still use them anyway. So why don't you legalize it and streamline it according to put it under measures, so that the people who are taking them, the amount people are taking them, and so that you'll be able to have informed judgment going forward. I don't believe in the war on drugs.
Yeah, but saying these things, I think we are on different paths here. Yeah. I think we are disagreeing somewhere, because looking at you are saying that almost like they should allow people to take it, but I am against it, because if you look at the effect, you know, how it controls your your actions, you know, and your responses. So I think it's actually bad, because if you look at have you actually take your time to look at some of these effects of drug on the human body?
Yes, yes, indeed,
First
I
of all,
understand you. But if you don't legalize it and control it, how will you manage the what are you saying, the effects on people? Because when it is criminalized or it is still illegal, people take them. You know, people take them. So for you to be able to, you know, help or assist people, you have to, you know, bring them into the legal framework, analyze the situation, and knows the way forward. Because this is the situation, it's still illegal. People are still taking them, and because it's illegal, the amount people are taking in it is insane. So in the legalized, like when I was talking about Portugal and Holland, and they have the amount which you can keep on you. They have the amount which you can keep on you, and they tax them. So you see, so at the end of the day, the taxes derived from these contraband or these drugs are also channeled back to help the victims of these drugs, the addicts and the rest.
yeah, but like I was saying, looking at looking at the four types of behavior, you know, which is the physical action, the non-verbal action, the language, and also the vocal delivery. Do you think that if we allow drug in our society, do you think that these behaviors will actually be because looking at the physical action, which is what you do, and if you are taking drug, you do not have control over what you do, and the non-verbal action, which is how I do it, because you are even insane, you will not even know how to do it. And the language, what you say, you will not have control over what you say. You know, and also the vocal delivery, you know, which is how I say it. You know, because if you don't know what you say, how will you know how you say it? So
I
for
understand
me,
what you are saying. I understand what you are saying, but
yes,
what I'm saying is, I understand what I say, but what I'm saying is, you know, this is the situation. It is illegal right now. I presume Ghana, most of the drugs are illegal in across Africa, West Africa, and Africa. This is the situation. People are doing the drugs. It is illegal. It's not as if it's legal, and people are doing it. So let's make it illegal for people to stop. People, it is illegal, and people are doing it. So what we have to do is to address the issue, and addressing the issue is to bring all these people who are victims of this drug, to bring them on board, to treat them with respect, with dignity. You see, but if you say it is illegal, you can't sit in your office and say you won't let people smoke or you won't let people drink. You can't do that.
so,
Yeah, so
yes. Now,
all you can do is to make sure maybe you have a secured border. And you know, when you talk about drugs, it is these politicians who are the campaigns in it. It is these because it comes with huge lot of money. The it comes with huge money, and it is these politicians who who are into it. So what I'm saying is, for people as a humanist and for the human rights of other people too, I think legalizing all sort of drugs should be allowed, and the way forward is to educate people against the usage of drugs. You know, to educate people against them, because if people knows that smoking cigarette is harmful to the human body, the person will not smoke. But if you chase people with guns and the rest, I think that's all the way to go.
all right. Now, um, Nandip, you are welcome. Nandip is a gang member from Nigeria, Abuja. We are discussing
Thank you.
the effects
Thank
of
you
drugs
so
on behavior,
patiently.
Nandip. Yes, but I mean, you are welcome. Thank you. We are discussing the effect of
Now,
drug
what
on
has seen
behavior
you?
here. Yes, but me and Nana, I think we are on two opposite sides. You know, Nana is going in like to support that because it is illegal and people are taking it that it should be legal. But I am saying that because of its bad effects, it should not be legal. Because now that it is not legal in the society, and people are taking it, and we are seeing the effect, the bad effects of it on their behaviors. We are seeing it on we just showed the video here. We saw a military officer and also a police officer being disgraced on the street, you know, because of drug. You know, he took kush and he was sleeping on the street in his uniform. So, so I am saying that now one of the things Humanist TV is doing is to bring this because most of these people who are taking this drug, they really do not know the effects of it, the bad effects of it. You know, so because they do not know, they are just going into it. Maybe they are looking at one side, like the pleasure which they get, like the way they feel, the highness, but they do not even have control over their self. They do not have control over their responses or their actions. So I am looking at how will I take something that will make me not to have control over my actions or not to have control over my responses or the pattern or the activities in which I exhibit myself. So why will I take it? So to me, because it's harmful for your body, for your system, and looking at how it's treating people, how you see people who take drug, how their conditions, their body structure, everything about them is it's different. So I am saying that because of its bad effects, I think we should stop it and also try to sensitize people to tell them the bad effects, to bring these effects to them, these bad effects to them, like what Humanist TV is doing, so that they will actually know that taking drug is a bad thing. But again, I will send it to you, Nandip. I don't know what you say about it, but it is the effects of drug on behavior. What do you have to say about it?
Yes, thank you, Comrade Mabu from Sierra Leone. You see, this topic is very, very good, very, very important. You know, if you take a look at the youths in Africa, most of us youth, we involved in drugs in one way or the other. Now, what is a drugs? A drug is a chemical substances. When introduced to the body, it can, you know, bring out a positive or negative reaction on human being, that is on you. That is the simple definition that I can be able to give about drugs. Now we are looking at the effect of drugs on our behaviors. Now, I cannot say completely that drugs is bad, should be banned. No. Or drug is good, should be continued. But it depends on the quantity that an individual cannot be able to, you know, introduce into a system for one particular reason or the other. You cannot just wake up. I cannot just wake up as Nandi today and then I'll start taking drugs without any concrete reason for me taking a drugs, because that amounts to what? Drugs abuse. If you can take a drugs without any kind of you don't have maybe a need for taking that drugs, it's called drugs abuse, which is what? Which is bad. But if you are taking a drugs for a particular purpose or a reason, that is normal and is what? Acceptable in medical field anywhere. Let me give you an example, a example that what happened in Nigeria in 2000, I say 2000, in 1996. Is something that is in the net. Everybody can, you know, Google it or find out what it is. Is about Pfizer. they came to Nigeria in 1996 and took out a test on a particular drugs. So they use the children from 3 months to 18 years as what guinea pigs in northern Nigeria called a city called what? Kano. Google it and find out, you see how these drugs is an American company called Pfizer. 11 out of over 200 children that these drugs were used on them, 11 of them died. Many of them get blind, deaf, paralyzed. You can see that is a bad effect of you what using a drugs. And this drug is not that they are used by those children themselves, but by the professionals who manufacture those drugs. So why will you manufacture a drugs and use it on human beings? Not even animals, human beings. It's wrong if you can abuse a drugs. But this incident dragged for over 24 years. And this particular state in northern Nigeria, mostly they are Muslims. And they see that the West, they came to Nigeria, they couldn't go to the southern Nigeria, which the population there are Christians, or to the middle belt, or to the southeast, but they came to the north. They are seeing that it's a way of controlling their population. They use it as religion aspect. They use that as a religion tactics to kind of to depopulate their numbers. You can see the issue of drugs that is not even tested, whether is kind of is okay for human consumption, is also wrong. The way Pfizer did 24 or 25 years ago in Nigeria, of which a lot of children died. Many of them were paralyzed. You can see that is the side effect. And in the behavior is most of them also get mentally deranged. So I cannot, conclude or accept that drugs should be banned or drugs should be accepted completely. But it depends on the users, or it depends on the manufacturers that really this is the dosage that this particular drug should be administered or introduced to a system of a sick person. Not that, like, I am okay now, I'm not sick, I'll go and take drugs. Drugs, that is drugs abuse, and even I will take it over, which is what is also drugs abuse. And from that, I will not have my normal senses, because my reasoning has been what altered, and my behavior will be changed. You see, sometimes drugs, when overtaken, will cause what? Distrust. It will cause hyper alert. Hyper alert in the sense that your reaction will be what? Very, very, simultaneous and fast. Of which in that process, you will not even reason properly. And if you take some, stimulants, it will make you to become very, very dull. You will not, what do you call it? How would I want to say now? You will not react very well. You react very, very slow. So drugs has its advantage and also disadvantage. So for drugs, it should be what kind of control? Controls in the sense that those in the medical field can give a particular, dosage or measurement of how this drug can be used. Not like what happened in Kano in 1996, that more than 11 people died. Many of them get blind, deaf, and have mental, issue because they came purposely in Nigeria to test these drugs on human beings. Not that they don't want, they could have tested in their own country. That's why you see, let me come back now to Africa, in the traditional way of doing things. We have our own way of, treating ourselves by using our herbal treatment. It's also called drugs too. So when we as Africans, use our herbal treatment to treat ourselves, we cannot have the issue of what behavior, mental behaviors, or kind of things that can make us not to reason very well. Although in a herbal way, we have what is called a cannabis. It's a traditional or it's a cultural weed, a plant that when you overuse it, you have your senses being scattered. You will not reason well. When you smoke weed, you will get eye wire. Sometimes you will get dull. That is a drugs, and that is the traditional drugs. And then let us look at the medicational drugs, of which the one you use it for what? For treatment of malaria, for treatment of other ailments or diseases. You can discover that those drugs in a traditional way is okay. Even though you overtake it, it doesn't have much side effect like the way the scientific drugs that we are used to it now. So if we can see that the scientific drugs or the medical drugs that we usually take can cause problem to us as Africa, why can't we, our educated elite or educated researchers in Africa, research on our local, plants to create our drugs that cannot, put us into a kind of a terrible behavior, of which it can be able to treat us very, very well. So traditional drugs, I can see them that they are more better because they don't have much side effect. The only aspect of it is that the traditional healers, they require quantity or measurement of which you can take. They can be able to give you the right treatment of what you are looking for. But the scientific drugs, they have a particular quantity of which you can take, but people choose to abuse it so that they can get high, which is wrong. Which the government or the medical field can look into it very seriously.
All right, Nandi, I will stop you there for now. Like you were saying, I just want to clarify something. The difference between the drug and the medicine is because medicine is being prescribed, and medicine, it's a substance used, to treat or prevent disease, wherein drug is not being prescribed. It's not prescribed.
Drugs are medicine. Medicine are drugs. It depends on how you want to use it. Yes, it depends on how you want to use it. Drugs are medicine. Medicine are drugs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
These are just ways people are saying that they are medicines. But will you tell me that cocaine is a medicine?
Now, Mabu, if you want to go to the chemist or a pharmacy now to buy, a tablet for a treatment of malaria.
But you did not answer my question, Nandi.
What would you ask for? You will say they should give you medicine, or are you going to ask that they should give you drugs? No, which is the right terms for you to use when you go to pharmacy? You will say they should give you drugs for the treatment of malaria, not medicine, right? So drugs.
But I will not go to pharmacy to buy cocaine. I will not go to pharmacy to buy cocaine. I will not go to pharmacy to buy kush to smoke. So you
okay.
see,
yes, I understand.
yes,
where we are going to. We are talking of hard
thank
drugs
you.
now, right?
Yes,
We're talking about
yes.
the one that can.
No, what you are thinking about, maybe the cannabis sativa, which some people say is a medicine, and also that one can also be harmful depending on how you use it, how you take it. And traditionally, like where I came from, traditionally people boil the cannabis sativa and drink it. It's good for asthma. It cures asthma very fast. But if I'm not asthmatic patient, I do not have asthma. Why would I take cannabis sativa?
Yes, because
It means
that is drug.
I am yes. But people who are sick of asthma, they boil it properly and then they drink the water. It's very good it can cure asthma very fast. Very fast. But Emmanuel here do not have I'm not an asthmatic patient. Why do I need cannabis sativa? Why do I need cocaine? And this cocaine, I'm not going to the pharmacy to buy it. Why do I need to smoke kush? I am not going to pharmacy to buy kush. So this is the thing. And now in Sierra Leone, let me tell you one thing that is happening in Sierra Leone. They will dug a grave of someone who is dead. They dug your grave, take out your bone. They scrape it, that bone. They scrape your bone. They mix it with the kush and smoke it.
Mix it with what?
With kush and smoke it.
Kush.
Kush, Kush. Buyer, can you please show us some of these slides so that Comrade Nandi will have some understanding of what I'm saying. And I'll also tell you, do you know Pampers?
What?
Do you know Pampers? Pampers.
Pampers for collecting a kid poo-poo.
Thank you. For babies. I will tell you, yes, I will tell you that they take this, they buy these Pampers, they boil it, they put it in a pot, put water and boil it and drink the water.
That is sick.
That one, if you taste that water, you will be off your mind for the next 48 hours. So looking at
now, Mabu. That
yes.
means Pampers, it was manufactured with some chemicals in them, right?
Of course, it has yes. A chemical.
So, yes, I'm coming, please. 1 minute. Why will we be using this for our children? That means it's very, very harmful because babies' skin are very, very tender. Why can't we go for our own traditional way of using wrapper to kind of napkin to tie on the baby bum? Is the ideal thing to do. That's what my mother did to me. So if I am finding out from you now, Mabu, that napkin has a very strong chemical in them, so we must have to discourage that in Africa by using it in our children.
Okay, can I come in? Thank you, Nandi. Again, the chemical used there is also a medicine to cure what they call macro on children. Like you see, if you use wrapper on a child, when that child poo-poo in it, you find out that if it takes like 10, 15, 20 minutes on that child, the child will develop some complications, some rashes, complications, yes, rashes and other things. So that chemical in that pampers is there to prevent that rash for the child.
No, you don't see.
It's not.
We don't know
I'm
that.
coming.
Yes.
No, that is the reason. That is the reason. It's there to prevent that, to kill some of the acid or whatever that is in the poo that will affect the child when it takes like 10 to 15 minutes on that child.
Yes. What are the side effects of that chemical? Everything has side effects.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a side effect on that child. But it's rather.
You are not a manufacturer. You don't know that.
Yes, I'm coming. I'm coming, Andy.
A chemical in a pamper can kind of kill a germs in a poo. That's mean there must be a side effect. We should have to we have to do more research.
It's a medicine to prevent rashes on the child, because when that child urinates or maybe poo on, in the pampers, it's there to protect that child actually. But how will me, a grown-up man like me, will buy a pampers from the pharmacy, put it in the pot, boil it, and drink the water just because I want to be abnormal? And I will tell you that it's affecting them so much that they will begin to get rashes on their bodies. And even your system will change. It will drain your blood from your system. Why would Emmanuel, a full-grown man like me, go and dug a grave of a dead person, take out that bone, scrape it, mix it with something and smoke it, when you do not even know the cause of death for that person? What is the cause? Do you know which disease that actually took the life of that individual? And you went to the grave, take the bone and smoke it. So you will find out that these effects are actually, it's just a way, it's a shortcut to the early grave. And it will make you, no matter what. And let me also tell you that most of these guys, they do not even eat properly. They do not eat. This is one of the effects. It will cut your appetite. So you will not be able to eat properly. So you will be deteriorating. Your whole system will just be going down. So these effects are actually bad. And again, like the pampers water I was telling you about, that one can actually destroy your behavior. It will actually take you off your mind for 3 or 4 days. The same way goes to the kush. It will actually take you off your mind. In fact, kush is very instant. Like I'm sitting here, the moment I jag it like 2, 3, instantly I'm off. That is what it does to them. So I'm asking buyer to display, because we do not actually have time anymore. We have about 6 minutes. I'm asking buyer to display our slide.
Yes.
After the slide, then we'll say our parting words.
Now, before the slide, the slide, what is the solution that is for this effect of drugs on behavior? You know, you cannot be taking drugs unnecessarily. So there must be, a way of telling these dangerous drugs that we have been talking about, this cocaine, cannabis, and all that, and all that, and all that. So because there must be. Wow, that's serious.
Yeah, so Nandi, I was telling you about drug. Now, you can see they even inject it, because when you inject it into your system, it's more faster. It works faster than when you take the tabs. And now, do you know also that tramadol, which is being used for pain, to kill pain, is now being misused as drug? Tramadol is being prescribed for pain, but people are using it as drug. Let's say you take 250 milligram of tramadol and you do not have pain. What will it do to you? It will make you go off mind. You will not be able to control yourself. You will not have control over your behavior because it is not even measurable. How will I take a 250 milligram of tramadol? And you see, it's here you can see it's a drug targets the brain pleasure center. So most of these things like the cocaine, the marijuana, the kush, the whatever they call it, it goes directly to the brain pleasure center. And you see here in the slide, it says, whilst eating, like typical dopamine increase in response to cocaine is taken. Like you were saying, like Nana was saying, they should allow people to take a drug. So I was telling Nana that how will you now? It is not legalized in these countries, and we are seeing the effect of them, the way they are damaging the youth of people. People who are taking it. Now, if you legalize it, will you be able to control it? Now it is not legalized. What measures will you put in place to control drug? He was saying they should legalize it and control it. But I was saying no. Now it is not legalized and we are seeing the bad effect already. So if you legalize it, are you not actually damaging the whole system? Now, say drug misuse damage health. Drug misuse damage health. And you can see the human body and you can see how it damage your health. One is poor vein health in injection or injector, overdose and drug poisoning, liver damage, and also sexual risk taking. We have depression, anxiety, we have lungs damage, cardiovascular disease. So if you look at all these effects, will you legalize drug? You will not legalize drug because these are bad effects on the human body. Buyer, can we please make it faster because of time? The effect of drug abuse. Like if I am to take 50 milligram of tramadol because of my pain, and then if 50 milligram was prescribed for me, and then I take 250 milligram, that is drug abuse. Because I was supposed to take 50, and then I took 250, it is drug abuse. The excess use of even medicine is drug abuse. Now, drug could lead you to addiction, and when you are addicted, that one is a drug abuser tends to get higher and higher dosage of drug. Withdrawal systems like vomiting, shivering, and hallucination occurs when the drug is not available. So if you are addicted to it and it is not available, these are the effects. These are what it does to your body. And also look at depression. Drug like morphine and barbituric can cause confusion, lack of coordination, and sleeplessness. Very large dose of depressant drug can lead to death. Infection of disease. Disease such as AIDS and hepatitis B are spread by sharing injection needle among drug addicts. We'll sit here like 5 or 6 of us. When I inject myself, I give it to Nandip. Nandip injects himself and give it to Nana. Nana injects himself. It spread HIV among them. Hallucination. Marijuana is a mind-altering drug. It raises your heart rate. It makes you hard to concentrate. It can cause hallucination and death. And then you see the effect of drug, the physical and mental effect of drug abuse. In the bed, food, everything is just there, and he doesn't even know where he is right now. Look at this lady, 1 year before and 1 year after. Effect of drug. 1 year before she took drug, and when she became a drug addict, look at the effects. Look at her face. You see the difference? This is what drug can do to your body. Like I was saying, if I was supposed to take 25 milligram of tramadol and then I take 250, that is drug abuse. And this is the circle of the brain, how it works in your brain. Emotional trigger, craving, avoid pain, rituals, neutral pathway created, using, pathway is strengthened, survival, brain depends on using drug, and addiction is created. And at the end of it, addiction is a brain disease. So when you create addiction out of drug, what is the effect? It is a brain disease. But we can make it faster because of time. All right, thank you very much, Baya, for the slide. Nandip, in 1 minute, you'll say your parting words to our viewers.
Yes, Mabu, thank you for this wonderful topic, the effect of drugs on behavior. Drugs abuses or drugs abuse have caused a lot of youth into their untimely death or mental range. Last 2 weeks in the street of Abuja, a young man around 18 to 19 years, he started, rolling on the floor, coiling like a snake, crying, holding his head until he was chained and tied to a pole. We don't know where that young man came from, but what we find out is that it was in the influence of drugs abuse. He has taken a lot of drugs, but we don't know which one he has consumed. Sometimes frustration leads youth into taking too much drugs. So I think we need to have the second part of this topic again, Mabu. If
Yes.
the next time you can be able to, we should all do more researches about this effect of drugs on our behavior. You see, a boy or a man or a youth or with his girlfriend, he will start suspecting her that she's cheating on him, because he will start hallucinating. He has those kind of paranoia, thinking that the girl cheating on him. All these are influence of drugs. Or someone is sitting down, you think that someone is coming to kill him. Those are all influence of drugs. And those drugs are dangerous drugs, are drugs. So as youth, we should know what we're supposed to do. We should be focused, because our life didn't end up here, because we have future to live. And the future is brighter for every youth, not on drugs. Drugs is the end to life. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nadip Bonfa from Nigeria. And we want to say thank you to our producer, Baya from Kenya. My name is Emmanuel Mambu, and this is the end of our gang show for today, which is the effect of drug on behavior. Thank you very much, and we encourage you to subscribe, like, and share at Humanist TV Africa. Thank you all.